Hey, alumni friends, it's time for another NHCC Alumni Coffee Break, another special edition of where our NHCC students and alums become North Hennepin employees. And I welcome to the stage Mr. Dustin Cahill. Dustin, boom. I
Ooh,
salute you, my friend.
ah,
Boom.
boom
Uh,
again.
our coffee mug. I love it. I love it. And, man, I have such fond memories of our first meetings. I probably am going to have all of the dates wrong, because you know how dates fade. But my first memory goes back to 2006. Don't know
Sounds
how
all right.
close that is,
I would
but
have graduated high school. Yeah.
yep. And I don't know if you were knocking around the college in a meaningful way at that point, but I remember feeling that was about your student pocket. And audience, we didn't practice this at all. So, Dustin and I are flying without a net today. But my fond memory was you in a work study position within the IT office. And, our IT department, I mean, well, Joseph Collins recently got Distinguished Alumni of the Year for 2021. Chad, Todd, Kathy, Azar, Eddie, you go down the list, even.
Bell back in the day, he was our old network administrator. He was one.
Yeah, yeah, and you guys are just all amazing. You're so helpful and so willing to, give everything you got. You bring your A game to the table all the time. And, my memories of you are the same. You just were always, such a huge help to us. And I remember a lot of, because I was teaching back then, so, classroom capture stuff and just different things in the classroom and tapping you and like for events. And so I just had to share with my
Oh
audience
yeah.
what an amazing guy I think you are. And
Oh
yeah, and I just am so appreciative of our friendship and all the help that I've gotten from you over the years.
yeah. Yeah. It's always been fun to have Troy back on campus. It's always a
Yeah,
nice story when we get to see your face.
yeah, thanks,
Um,
man.
yeah. I remember when you came back into the role you're in now, and we kind of saw you before the or after the interview, and it was like, oh my god, it's Troy Nellis. He's back. And you were just ready to be back at North Hennepin. You were somewhere else, but you're like, it's not for me. This is the college.
This was the place. It always
Yeah.
was, man. Yeah, yeah.
I
I
love
did
it.
a stint in Moorhead for 3 years, but you know,
Moorhead, yeah.
yeah, Moorhead. Outer Mongolia.
Yeah, I mean, you can't compete with just what you get in terms of diversity of human experience in Minneapolis and the northwest suburbs. I just think it's
So
something special out here. I don't know.
it is. It is. That northern corridor. And North Hennepin has always got a special place in my heart for sure.
Yeah.
So yes, I jumped at the opportunity to come back. So it's great. Great to be back. And what a homecoming. What a homecoming.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
it's
now
been,
you're building this, so
now we're getting this going, and it's been pretty amazing. But I don't know. Walk the audience through a little bit. I mean, you were a student, and what was your major, and how did you know IT was the career for you?
oh yeah. I mean, I always knew IT was for me. No, I was here to do the transfer curriculum. Though initially I wanted to design and develop and program video games, and so I came here, and I think it was is it Rachna Sud or something. She was teaching in programming or CSCI at the time.
I remember the name. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and she was good, but I just remember taking my first class, and Todd was in that class, and he's the database guy, and I'm just
Yeah,
this and so
yeah,
he knows way more about programming than I do.
yeah.
And instead of like tapping into that, I was in that sort of like go at my own 18-year-old sort of like mentality where like
Yeah.
I did some programming, and I was just like, this is not for me. I'm not going to reach out to my friends or my coworkers. And I just didn't do well in programming as a result. I think I could pick it up
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And so I switched to doing the transfer curriculum, and I just kind of got in and out for a year and a half as a student pretty quickly. which is just one of those benefits of the college, in my opinion. Like, you get what you put into it. I wasn't interested when I went to the U of M next. I didn't stick around the U of M a whole lot either. For me, I make my own fun. So the college is sort of, it's just an educational institution for just me personally,
Yeah.
but very different for depending on who you are and what you want to get out of it. And so it was always fun kind of engaging with other people here that were more invested in, well, maybe student government here or starting a club.
Yes.
And I don't know. So I went over to the U of M and I did anthropology and journalism, and I never did I was probably too young still. I think we get pushed into school too quickly.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready to do reporting either, even though I like asking questions. So I had picked up a gig here as a student worker in the IT department, and that kind of became a full-time gig in 2008. And I just chased this instead and developed my skills in the AV department more specifically.
Well, anthropology and journalism's loss was our gain, Dustin.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
No question. No.
I don't know. My contributions to the world of anthropology they're severely missed.
Well, I know Silas Mallory, our faculty member, has probably said that more than a few times, So.
It's funny. He inspired me to end up in anthropology. I did not actually ever take his class. My friends all took his class and were in love with him. And then we all transferred basically together to the U. They started talking about, the anthropology program there as continuation of what they had learned with Silas. And it was like, okay, this is what they want to do. And I'm like, I'm just going to ride the coattails of them. And I really love anthropology as a field of thought. So not wasted time at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's got quite a following, Silas does. No doubt about that. Yeah.
Am I allowed to imply maybe like a little bit of a cult leader? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Silas. Yeah.
He would love that. You guys have got similar senses of humor. Maybe
I think so. Yeah.
It's that anthropologist in both of you, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
I love that. Exactly. And so, your home became North Hennepin, and you've been with us for going on 15 years, I guess. 13 employed, which is pretty amazing. And like I say, you've done a phenomenal job. So maybe regale our audience with, because lots has changed. I mean, IT is a way different animal.
Yeah, I mean, we were in a different hallway, right? We weren't in an office suite. We're in what is now the hallway to the BHCC building.
Exactly.
We got kicked out of there as that building sort of came into shape. But we still have an IT closet in that hallway because it's, our remaining footprints are all over the place. There's a secret closet over there with a secret urn in it. It's just the ghosts of the IT department hold I kid you not. They lay around this building. The memories. And so I that's where I spent most of my time cutting my teeth, was in that hallway. And it was a lot more exciting because you'd have people walking from ES to student services in the library, where I think you were. You had Cindy Byholm sitting up in front, So I started there, and now we've moved to the CBT building. We've kind of turned, I think a corner as a department. We came from a very strong, we had a really good infrastructure put in place by like Tim and Abel and Gary, and that's just kind of been handed off to Chad and some new people, but like also under Sean's leadership as a director of the help desk, we've just kind of become I think a better service department. And I don't know, it's fun to be a part of that, because I was watching Joseph's what is it, honored alumni, his bold leadership, honored alumni, or whatever that was, and his connection to I'm not a religious person, but service as a kind of core value in his life. And I was like, oh yeah, I kind of get that. I kind of connect with that. Yeah.
Joseph Collins' audience was named our Distinguished Alumni of the Year for 2021.
and no pressure to me. He's did the job I do now basically, and then he became the CIO very quickly, and so the chief of technology on campus. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
a little joke in the department here. I'm the future CIO
I
just by birthright, but that's not
I could
attitude wise. I don't think that's true.
Dustin, I could totally see it. I
Oh
could
yeah.
see it. I can. I really could.
When the campus accepts socialism as just the de facto norm, I will be their honored leader, but I will not stand higher than any of them. Yeah. I like the education aspect of North Hennepin. I'm here for the community and the idea that we learn better when we spend time together and we talk. Ideas are developed by putting them together in real time and not just writing them out and staking a claim. So I love that part of the college, and I'm not so keen on the business side of it. We should be all state funded all the time. Every dollar, every building we want to build should just the Congress should. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, oh man.
But I feel like this. I'm really proud to take part in this project. I guess. Of a state-sponsored kind of college.
System. Absolutely. Well, back in the '60s, of course, as you know, that was the model.
It was, yeah. And that's great. In that BHCC link hallway now, you have all those pictures from the start of the college.
Exactly.
You can see that.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Well, we've got to ask this as our final question. So, when you mentioned, you started in 2006, you went to the U of M, kind of took a kind of maybe a meandering path back to North Hennepin ultimately. When was that magic moment where you knew North Hennepin was the place for you professionally?
Yeah, professionally, well, I don't know. I mean, professionally, I have a loose relationship with that word, but okay. Let's say when I started walking around campus as an employee and I would talk to instructors like Bruce Liebus and just be able to bounce ideas, even though I'm an IT guy, have those kind of heady conversations and to have that kind of right there at my fingertips.
Yep.
I love that. I still get it. There's just every department has an instructor that just is way more into their job than everyone else, and you kind of want to find that instructor and talk to them and see what they're working on in their head and what they want to do next and follow them. So it's a little hard during COVID times, but COVID's a good time to work on yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully when everyone's kind of back in person, we'll hear some really cool research or projects that everyone's getting up to and see what they bring to North Hennepin. But I mean, I'm really happy to be at this place, just being near that energy. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No, great answer. And I think we're going to close our interview a little differently, Dustin, than we normally do. Yeah. Well, we have to. A little bit of peer pressure here today, I think. So, audience, if you like these interviews with students that became employees of North Hennepin, I had the kind of a dream to interview the entire IT team.
Oh.
Dustin is only our second IT team interview. Most of the IT team are alums. The greater percentage of them are. So just a little volley. If you like what you saw here today with Dustin, let us know if you want to hear from Chad Erickson or Todd Lupke or
Eddie Tang. Eddie was a student. Yeah.
Yeah. All of these people, if you want to hear more of, in the video we've done here with Dustin.
What other secrets are buried here that IT people know about that you don't?
Exactly. So, my friends, that is the Alumni Coffee Break. On behalf of Dustin Cahill in IT, I'm Troy, the Alumni Guy. Until next Tuesday.
Take care, everybody.